beautiful in the country. I can't wait to enjoy it.
I thought you were here to teach.
Well, my classes won't take up that much time, and you'll be busy.
Oh, yes. I can't wait to see the long-distance transmission lines from Niagara Falls installed. Mayor Hahn will even be there.
We'll make sure to write down everything in detail so you can read it to Susanna as a bedtime story.
Oh, do you think she... That was a joke. Very funny.
Oh.
With Crabtree on his honeymoon, Murdoch on vacation, and what's gone, this place is as quiet as a church.
I wish I was paid enough to afford a vacation.
Hey, what was that?
Nothing, sir.
Right, I'm off. Higgins, you're in charge. And I never thought I'd hear myself say that.
Women treating women offers great benefit, particularly in childbirth. However, it's important to know when to seek medical attention for the mother or the child. One possible scenario...
Please.
Oh, God.
Please. Help him.
Put him on the table. Careful with his head. He's bleeding badly. You all right? Can you hear me? Can you tell me your name? What happened to him?
I found her.
What do you need? He's gone. Posterior blunt force trauma.
It's hit from behind.
It's a deep laceration, likely caused by something heavy and very sharp.
The edge of a rock, perhaps?
Without a full post-mortem, I couldn't say for sure. What do you have there?
It's a letter addressed to Enoch Snyder from an Otto Pfanschmidt in Lancaster, Pennsylvania.
I'm guessing this is Enoch Snyder?
You say he was brought in?
Carried in by a young man who ran off before I could talk to him.
That was Mervyn Friesen. He and his family come into Berlin every weekend.
And what about Enoch Snyder? Do you know him?
I've never seen him before.
Do you know where we can find Mr. Friesen?
The Friesen colony is just up the road.
Colony?
They're Mennonite.
Excuse me, I wonder if you could...
Excuse me? Could you tell me where I could find
Pardon me,
Mervyn
sir.
Friesen?
A quick question.
Oh. Oh, hello.
Hello.
Is that for me?
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
Edna. Go back to your mother. Can I help you?
We're looking for a Mervyn Friesen.
He's my son. Who are you?
I'm William Murdoch. This is my wife, Dr. Julia Ogden.
Your son brought an injured man into the Berlin clinic this morning. He ran off before I was able to ask him what happened.
He was scared. He said it was the Snyder boy. How is he?
I'm afraid he didn't make it.
What in heaven? No.
Can you help us?
Come with me.
Mr. Snyder's death does raise some suspicions. How well did you know him?
Not well. We were the same age, but he belonged to the other colony. I only met him because he was thinking of joining us.
There's another colony?
Over the way.
Why was he thinking of leaving his colony?
Uncle Jebediah is an old order Mennonite. His rules are more stringent than those we live by.
Your uncle heads the other colony?
Yes. My brother. But that is a long story, and we are short of time. Enoch was a fine young man. Quiet, friendly.
We found a letter on him from an Otto Pfanschmidt in Pennsylvania. Does that name seem familiar to you?
We still have family there, but I don't know an Otto. What did the letter say?
I'm sorry, I know not of whom you speak.
The last thing he said before he died was, I found her. Does that mean anything to you?
No. Not at all.
Where did you find Mr. Snyder?
It was beside the road. I was driving our buggy into town, and I saw his hat on the ground. I stopped to retrieve it, and I found him lying just a few steps away.
Can you show us where you found him?
He was laying right over here.
The ground is soft here.
His injuries couldn't have been caused by a fall on this terrain.
What's the matter?
Mr. Snyder was struck in the back of the head, something hard, perhaps a rock, possibly with deliberate intent.
Then it was an outsider. Mennonites do not commit murder, Mr. Murdoch. It is not in our nature.
Looking well, son?
In some ways, this has been the best thing to happen to me.
I wouldn't go that far. The food can't be up to much.
I've been saved.
What's that, Bobby?
I'd like to be called Robert now.
You've been saved? Saved from what?
I've entered the Catholic Church.
Absolutely not! It's one thing for my best detective to be a Catholic, but no Brackenreed is going to become a bloody papist.
I'm not becoming a Catholic, Father. I am one.
You believe he was murdered? By whom?
We don't yet know. The answer may, however, lie in his colony.
You will continue to run into walls of silence. Worse there than here. We Mennonites are mistrustful of outsiders.
You know people there, though. Your brother?
I don't know him anymore. There is a rift between us. I left there long ago because I wanted to marry a woman who was not from the community. Jebediah shunned me. It was like a death. We pass one another in Berlin like strangers. If he can treat his own brother like that, the two of you have little hope.
That's what Enoch was running away from.
There must be a way to gain his trust.
A young man's life was cut short far too soon. Solving this crime may give his family some peace.
Jebediah does take in boarders. Mennonites, of course.
Meaning what?
Is everything all right up there?
Hello, Irmgard and Cornelius Penner.
Oh, I forgot to mention, no jewelry.
Oh.
Perfect.
Except for the beard, yes.
Upon arrival, say Birkin Falk sent you. Jebediah knows and trusts him.
The colony is similar to ours, but with even fewer trappings of the modern world.
Where do we start?
Meet them where they are, Julia. Talk to the women there. They will know things the men never hear.
Mind, the men will not communicate directly with a woman who is not their wife.
Right.
Yes. Shall we, Cornelius?
Yes, Irma.
Irmgard.
Irmgard. Is this the Friesen home?
Yes.
We are Cornelius and Irmgard Penner. We are passing through on our way to do missionary work. We need a place to rest our head a few days yet.
From where do you hail?
Mannheim.
You come all this way.
We are travelers in need of hospitality.
Why are you asking for me?
Birkin Falk said there was no one more generous and charitable than Jebediah Friesen.
Surely the Lord said of Birkin, "Well done, thou good and faithful servant."
The Lord also said, "You have been faithful over a little. I will make you ruler over many things."
Martha set 2 places for our new friends. You will join us for lunch.
I hope you don't mind, but I need a hand in the kitchen.
Of course.
This one slows me down, and we're busy preparing for a funeral. Follow me.
I'm sorry to hear of the funeral.
As are we. Working on a farm is rough and sometimes dangerous work. Though we come from dust, and to dust we shall return. It is hard to lose someone so young.
Yes. What was the young man's name?
Did we say the funeral was for a man?
Oh, hard, dangerous work on the farm was mentioned. I only assumed.
Of course.
How old was he?
Enoch was not yet 20 and about to start a life with our daughter.
They were to be married. It is as if we've lost one of our own.
I'm very sorry for your loss.
More hands make for shorter work, Irmgard. I hope you can help prepare the faspa for the funeral service.
Oh, yes, I'd be happy to help with the faspa. Where should I begin?
Come, I'll get you an apron.
There is a vacant farmhouse nearby where you can stay.
Thank you.
Martha will send your wife over with goat's milk, apple butter, and bread for tomorrow's breakfast.
This is very generous in these trying times.
The Lord does not give us more than we can bear.
How much do I owe you for these lodgings?
You will repay with the strength of your back and the sweat of your brow.
I know I should not say this, but I do love having all the women together, working shoulder to shoulder.
You're right, Martha. You should hold your tongue. It's almost sinful to rejoice in funeral work.
Sinful? No. Finding community in the company of women, where we can be ourselves, it's natural.
I've got it. You've been kneading for a while now, but your dough is hardly holding together. Haven't you made biscuits before?
Oh, no. I mean, I'm so sorry. I'm so clumsy. Should I find a tea towel?
Oh, no, not that one. You know, Irmgard, let's get out of this hot kitchen for a spell. I see we don't have any Zwieback for the faspa, and that will not do. Come, let us to the bakery. You'll take care of that, yes, Ruth?
Is it my fault?
Is what your fault?
Anglican, United, Episcopalian.
Oh.
I'd even be fine with Lutheran, but Roman Catholic, Margaret.
What does it matter? Truly, he has faith.
If I didn't know better, I'd think the lad wanted to send me to an early grave. Oh, and he wants to be called Robert now. Did I mention that?
Yes, dear, a few times.
The faith, I don't mind. It's the mackerel snapper I can live without. Hello, Inspector Brackenreed? Oh, right. Yes, thank you. Speak of the devil.
What's wrong?
Bobby's parole hearing has been moved up to this week.
This week? I didn't think he was getting a hearing for another year.
Apparently he's a model prisoner, and his good behaviour hasn't escaped notice.
Bobby's prayers have been answered.
I suppose they have.
Oh, Thomas, he's coming home. Our boy's coming home, and we're going to be a family again.
Oh, thank you. It's good to get the blood pumping, especially after such a long trip from Pennsylvania.
Usually Enoch would do it. You were right, it was as if you were heaven sent.
Must be difficult now without him. I imagine he was a big help here on the farm.
Truthfully, he wasn't built for hard labor.
Oh?
He was a daydreamer. And frail, like his mother and father. God rest their souls. But, oh, what a sharp mind he had. It's a good match for my spirited Agnes.
Very tragic to lose her betrothed, especially so close to the wedding. I'd like to offer her my condolences.
She is not with us right now. She's visiting my cousin and his family in Lancaster, Pennsylvania.
Lancaster, you say?
Yeah.
Met a man from Lancaster once. Van Schmidt. Don't recall his given name.
Well, he would be one of ours then. My mother was a Feinschmidt.
Enoch didn't fit in with the other boys his age. But he liked to talk to the baker, ever since the man arrived.
The baker's new to the colony.
He is indeed. Oh, good Lord. How queer. CMC closed shop early today. Must have run out.
Agnes is in Pennsylvania?
He said she was visiting his cousin's family in Lancaster. Perhaps that's who sent the letter to Enoch.
I know not of whom you speak. Do you think there's a connection?
There has to be.
When I was in the kitchen with Marta, she stopped me opening a cupboard. It seemed like she was hiding something.
Jebediah only spoke well of the boy. He seemed genuinely sad that he was gone.
She described him as solitary. Said he only talked to Agnes and was quite close to the baker, who's new to the colony.
We should speak with him.
You think he's a suspect?
I don't know what to think. I hardly understand these people at all, Julia. I may have overdone it yesterday.
Oh, so you don't want to relocate here after all?
Surely you jest.
I don't know. You seem to fit right in here.
They don't even have electricity. It's bordering on criminal.
Oh, good. They're open.
Morning. Hello?
Yes?
We'd like to ask you some questions about Mr. Snyder. We understand you knew him.
Indeed I did.
Well?
Watts? What are you doing here?
Just about to proof this sourdough, if you don't mind.
Are you a Mennonite now?
In a sense. I've not yet been baptized into their faith, but these people have become my community, my family. They welcomed me when I was lost.
Last we heard, you were in New York City.
I had to leave. I wandered for a time and ended up back in Canada. I didn't want to return to Toronto and found myself doing odd jobs for farmers in this area. The Mennonites were always the kindest and most generous. I admired their peaceful lives, and so I befriended them.
And moved here?
Jebediah Friesen needed a man for physical labor. In exchange for the work, he gave me a place to stay.
And you're their baker now?
Baked bread is easy. The ingredients are simple. When I'm doing this work, the world is still.
And you follow their rules and believe in their faith?
I do.
Well, forgive our surprise, but the Llewellyn Watts I came to know would have problems with the Mennonite faith.
Some. But this is a place that prizes simplicity, honesty, and hard work.
And what about love?
Julia.
The world is full of cruelty and injustice. At least here I can see and believe in the goodness of people.
Unfortunately, injustice is why we're here.
I don't believe it. What happened to Enoch was an accident.
The evidence suggests otherwise.
These are peaceful people. No one here would harm anyone, let alone one of their own.
Well, that may be true, but we have questions that remain unanswered.
So you put on these clothes and taken false names?
Something happened to that boy, Watts. We have to uncover the truth.
By lying to a community of good people?
I'm sure they are good people, but someone knows something. Help us, Watts.
You were close to him, weren't you?
We struck up a friendship.
How did that come about?
Outsiders can sense other outsiders.
So he didn't fit in here?
You could say that. Not all the rules of this place fit with his life. He was uneasy about his upcoming marriage.
To Agnes Friesen.
It was arranged by a matchmaker. He wasn't in love with her.
Do you know Agnes?
She was already visiting family when I arrived.
How long ago was that?
4 months. Maybe 5.
Watts, something is going on with Agnes Friesen.
The family is hiding something.
Friesens have been nothing but welcoming and hospitable to me since I arrived.
When did you last see Enoch Snyder?
The morning before he died.
How did he seem?
Well, he was arguing with a woman, Sadie Yotzi.
Who's that?
Some, not I, would describe her as the colony busybody. She's a kind woman. She couldn't have anything to do with a murder.
She might know something. Perhaps whatever they were arguing about has something to do with why he's dead.
How would we find her?
Presumably she'll be preparing for the FASPA with the other women. If you don't mind, I have work to do. I'll keep your secret for now, but finish your business here and go.
Oh, excuse me.
So we don't have
Excuse me. Are you Mrs. Yotzi?
I am.
I was told to ask you where to put the plots.
Were you? Well, the food is being brought downstairs, too. You're the one staying here with your husband, are you?
Yes, we're staying with the Friesens. They've been so kind. Did you know Mr. Snyder well?
Yes.
Do you have any sense of what happened to him?
No one does. Just saddened his last hours were spent in strife.
Oh.
He was having a row with Jebediah that morning. I tried to speak to him about it, but he was such a private boy. I mean, it was clear he was in distress.
About what?
Well, he wouldn't tell me. All I know is I heard Enoch saying, "What have you done?"
Do you know what he was referring to?
No, but if I was to guess, it must have had something to do with the wedding.
To Jebediah's daughter?
Of course. Oh, yes, that's good.
What have you done?
That's what Mrs. Yotzi said.
I hate to say it, but Jebediah has to be a suspect in this murder.
Why? Because Enoch didn't want to marry his daughter?
Or because Enoch discovered Jebediah did something to her.
You can't think.
She hasn't been seen in months.
Enoch's dying words were, "I found her." You think it could have been Agnes he meant?
Perhaps. And perhaps that's what got him killed.
Well, if that's the case, we're missing a rather large piece of the puzzle.
We need to search the Friesen home. There's something behind that cupboard door.
The entire colony will be attending the funeral. Our absence would be noted.
Could be our chance. We've learned that Enoch Snyder had a public disagreement with Jebediah just before his death.
And what do you make of that?
We believe it has something to do with his daughter. We're going to search Jebediah's home during the service for evidence. We need you to occupy him should he become aware that we have stepped away.
Absolutely not.
We need your help, Watts.
I want no part of this.
Don't you want to know what's happened to Enoch?
Not like this. I'm not a detective anymore.
You still know right from wrong.
I do. And I know the people here are good people.
I'm the last person to judge anyone's faith. But you said yourself you are tired of injustice. Someone here is lying. There is an injustice that is being covered up.
You can't know that.
Oh? Then why is Enoch Snyder dead?
What are you saying? That Jebediah killed him?
I don't know.
No, you don't. And you don't know these people.
Watts, no community is a monolith. I can see why you admire them, why you admire their faith. But someone is lying and someone is hiding something. Don't you want to expose the truth?
That's not who I am anymore.
You're still the same person, Watts. You can't deny who you are.
I've denied who I am every day of my life. It's no different here than anywhere else.
Oh, you are hiding here, Watts. Hiding from the truth of who you are and the truth of what it is that you want. The only way out of darkness is to bring the truth to light.
Funeral's about to start.
Be prepared for anything that they throw at you.
I am prepared, Father.
And if you tell them what they want to hear, you'll be out of prison in no time.
I will tell them the truth.
Of course.
The result rests in God's hands.
And the result will be good if you tell them what they want to hear.
I'm not going to lie anymore, Father.
Who said anything about lying?
I'm going to tell them about Gerard LaCroix.
That it was an accident, like you said at trial.
It wasn't an accident.
What are you saying?
We fought, as I've said before. But in that final moment, I wanted him dead. I meant to kill him.
No, you didn't.
My heart knows the truth. I've already confessed in the eyes of God, and I will not lie again.
If you do that, they'll never let you out of here. You might never get parole.
And if I lie, I betray God's forgiveness. If staying here is God's will, so be it.
You'll break your mother's heart. Is that what you want, Robert?
This isn't about want, Father. Confession requires sacrifice.
Then sacrifice for her. She wants you home.
She'll understand. I'm sorry.
Whatever is in there, someone doesn't want it being discovered. Julia?
You're not staying for the rest of the service?
I have a pressing matter to attend to.
I'd like a moment of your time. This funeral has given me a newfound sense of clarity.
Walk with me.
I'm very grateful to be a part of this community and very much want to stay.
We are lucky to have you. You're one of us. All that is left is for you to be baptized.
What if I cannot ascribe to all tenets of the faith?
What do you mean?
Even if I'm ready to accept God, he may not be ready to accept me.
You are a child of God, made in his image. He loves and accepts you.
And if I don't want to take a wife?
Maybe not now, but perhaps later. I will speak with the matchmaker.
I'm not interested in having a wife, Jebediah.
You wish to be a bachelor?
Yes.
Life without a partner is hard.
I know.
Your relationship with God is your own. If you love Him, He will guide you.
And the people here, will they love me if I live my life differently from how they live theirs?
Have we not already accepted you, my son?
This must be Agnes.
There are over 24 unopened letters from Enoch to Agnes here.
They're all to Lancaster, but none with postage.
Enoch must have been writing and writing to Agnes, and Jebediah never sent the letters.
He must have sent the letter to Otto himself, hence the reply we found on him.
I know not of whom you speak. That had to be referring to Agnes Friesen.
So he confronts Jebediah with the letter from Otto, demanding to know where Agnes is, and is killed for it?
Assuming all of that is true, where's Agnes?
Well, if she's not where he says she is, one must think the worst.
She's dead.
And if she is, we may know where the body is.
Just one more question.
Good, Llewellyn. You're like a puppy dog nipping at my heels today. What is it?
Where is Agnes?
Why would you ask me that?
Just tell me, please.
William, hurry, I hear footsteps.
I assure you, telling me to hurry will not hasten this process, Julia.
Get away from that door. What are you doing?
Searching for evidence.
Is this about Enoch Snyder? He died in a tragic accident.
No, he didn't, Mr. Friesen. He died from blunt force trauma to the head.
You killed him when he discovered what you'd done to your daughter, Agnes. She's not in Lancaster, Pennsylvania, is she?
What are you saying?
Is she dead?
Dead? How dare you come into my home? Who are you people?
Open this door.
I will take no orders from you. Now leave my home.
Open the door.
I said get out.
Open the door, Jebediah. Please.
Father? What's going on?
As you can see, my daughter is alive and well.
That's pretty. Your hands are a little swollen. Are you experiencing any discomfort?
No.
Agnes, how long have you been locked in the attic?
Locked in?
We are keeping her there out of love, not punishment.
How is hiding her away love?
My daughter was betrothed but not wed. For her condition to be known would bring great shame upon all of us.
So you lied to everyone?
She may have been shunned. Our entire family would have been judged for failing to raise children who follow the word of God.
So you hid her?
We agreed that she would deliver the child and we would raise it as our own.
Then your wife, she isn't really with child then?
It was the best solution under the circumstances.
You shunned your own brother for marrying outside of the faith 20 years ago.
It hurt me deeply, but it was deemed appropriate by myself and the other elders at the time.
But why kill Enoch?
As God is my witness, I did not harm that boy.
But you were seen arguing with him just shortly before his death. He had discovered that Agnes wasn't in Pennsylvania.
He received a letter from my cousin Otto that put the truth to the lie.
And confronted you with it.
I told him she was in a good place and safe. It couldn't make him understand that I was helping her.
If you didn't kill him, what happened?
I do not know. You may not believe me, but God knows the truth.
Get away from my daughter.
Well, I was simply ensuring that she's healthy.
I said, get away from her.
He's still lying to us.
Why do you say that?
They know more about Enoch's demise than they're saying.
Well, how can you be sure?
I assure you, Enoch did not father Agnes's child.
Meaning?
Enoch and Agnes were already supposed to get married. What would have stopped the family from simply moving up the wedding date rather than this elaborate plan to hide her in the attic for 9 months?
Even if she had a different suitor, what does that change?
If Enoch had no interest in marrying Agnes, why not allow her to marry whomever she pleased?
It's someone the family finds highly undesirable.
A union that would bring even more shame than a child out of wedlock.
The ring.
The what?
We need to speak to Agnes.
I'd rather not face Jebediah right now.
Agnes, could you hold out your hands?
What are you doing?
When's the last time you left the house?
She hasn't been out of the house for months.
And then where did you get that ring? The grass is still fresh.
Agnes, someone's been visiting you, haven't they? And your parents are out?
Speak up, girl.
Someone's been visiting me here. I'm sorry, Papa.
Who?
I can't say.
You may feel it shameful, but I promise you there'll be no judgment from us.
Just time to tell them, dear. No, it's enough with the lies.
You cannot.
Her suitor is Mervyn Friesen.
Your brother's son?
Yeah.
The one you shunned and cast out?
He can never know. No one can ever know.
But I want to marry Mervyn.
We have discussed this.
Mervyn Friesen is the one that found Enoch Snyder.
Yes, I lied to you. Of that, I'm guilty. But I did not kill Enoch Snyder.
Tell us exactly what happened.
I knew Agnes was being hidden by her parents, but I had to see her. When her family was at the meeting house, I sneaked into the attic.
Did Enoch know about this?
No, but he didn't want to marry her anyway.
What happened the day he died?
I was leaving Agnes's place when I found him injured on Uncle Jebediah's property. That's why I lied. I couldn't tell you where I was when I saw him.
You panicked because you weren't supposed to be there?
But he was hurt. I couldn't leave him. So I picked him up and I brought him to you.
You lied. To these fine people. To your own father.
I'm sorry, Father.
All right, take us to where you really found him.
I found him lying just here.
No rocks that he could have fallen onto.
It's still most likely that a rock was used as the weapon.
There's a place back here where rock pickers leave their findings. They dump them in the creek. Right down there.
It's nothing but rocks.
Julia?
Yes, that's definitely blood.
There's something else here.
Something left by the killer.
Possibly, but Mennonites don't wear jewelry.
Except for watches.
Actually, I feel as if I've seen that somewhere before. I noticed your watch chain in this photograph earlier. It caught my eye because I didn't think Mennonites wore jewelry.
Yes, it is mine.
Martha? Tell him you did not hurt the boy.
I cannot.
Why did you do it?
Enoch discovered the truth. He threatened to tell Abraham's colony that he'd found Agnes in her attic.
Oh.
He wanted out of the engagement. I told him it wasn't possible, that it would ruin everything.
Martha.
I saw him in the field and I begged him not to tell. He called us false Mennonites in the eyes of God, and that we would be excommunicated as liars and hypocrites who shunned Abraham for a much lesser crime.
What have you done?
Lord, forgive me. I knew not what I was doing, but I had to stop him.
Mrs. Friesen, you are guilty of murder.
Please forgive me, Jebediah. Please forgive me.
It is not for me to forgive.
You decided not to stay?
This isn't the place for me.
Come with us.
Thank you, but no.
Where will you go?
I don't know. Should have known my wish for utopia was folly.
Not folly. You'll strive for something better.
Thank you for what you did for Enoch.
Perhaps he'll find justice in heaven.